You will be there, right? You will be there, right? Carmen Carr.
You will be there, right? Michael stared at me until my head started bopping up and down, signaling yes. I couldn't speak the words, my knees were shaking, and I could barely breathe. Michael walked away, looking over his shoulder with a smirk on his face, winking. Why on earth did I say yes to this crazy idea? Fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. I'm about to share my story, and I trust that you will find your story within. At age 13, I was young, confused, and I was looking up to my friend Michael. He had so much fun all the time, and everybody wanted to be around him, including me. How was I going to sneak out of my parents' house at midnight without getting caught? And how was I going to get back in if I survived? My heart was throbbing in anxiety and nerve-wracking anticipation of what if I get caught or die? At the dinner table that evening, my parents announced that they were going to their friend's house for after-dinner drinks. What were they thinking? My parents going out at night was like as rare as a solar and lunar eclipse in the same night. And why tonight? I had no idea. It was a school night. Isn't that what they preached to us? How is this going to affect my plans? All I can think was they better be home before midnight. That's all I can think of to calm my mind. The clock struck 11:55. My parents, still not home. Can you believe it? I decided to sneak out my bedroom window as a last resort. I certainly didn't want to greet them at the front door. I snuck out. It was a tight fit. Halfway through, I could hear the key turning in the lock. I froze, but quickly decided I only had one way to go, out. I was free. I ran in anticipation, meeting Michael at the outdoor swimming area. He was tapping his foot impatiently. You're late. But you know what? I didn't even think you were going to show up. So let's get the show on the road. I said, I will be there. I told you, I replied with confidence, and my self-esteem was rising. He had no idea what I had to go through to get here. And I wasn't about to tell him because I just acted calm, cool, and collected. The next challenge was the tall chain link fence. And for some reason, it was taller than I had ever remembered it. The moon had risen high up into the sky, the full moon, illuminating our path, as Michael gave me direction, laying out our path. He said, we got to cross the fence and get down really low to the ground, robbing our way across the grass to avoid the alarm sensors. And it wasn't a direct route. There were so many twists and turns. It was exhausting. It was so far away. But finally, we reached our destination. The swimming pool, the jumping pool was the 5-meter swimming board, where I spent most of my summers. We rushed up the ladder. We stood at the edge. The clear water, no one around, and no one behind us pressuring us, waiting their turn. I had been practicing the backward flip with experiencing many belly flops and back flops and injuries. But I didn't give up to perfect this routine, and Michael had the same routine. We practiced practiced and enjoyed until exhaustion stopped us. It was invigorating, enlightening. Michael looked at me and was like, I had no idea this would be so much fun with you. We went back the same way. I skipped and jumped home on cloud 9. I was not one bit concerned about my parents discovering my escape. I just knew at least there were no police cars lined up at the front door. I snuck back into the bedroom, falling into a deep sleep. And many more times that summer of 1978, I stood on that edge of that board, embraced by eternal bliss, reflecting on that wonderful full moon evening. And I was so glad I agreed. And I was there when Michael said, you will be there, right? I encourage all of you, when you agree, you'll be there to show up, Mr.